Rescue teams and volunteers with Samaritan's Purse find a unique way to help a neighborhood stranded by Helene. Powered by storm, Little Hickory Creek ripped out a culvert and section of Treetop Lane in Arden, stranding residents for days. Volunteers built a bridge using logs, dirt, and whatever else they could find. In a matter of hours, people in that neighborhood had a way out.
New developments this morning on a McDowell County plant damaged and shut down by Helene. The Baxter plant in North Cove is back open. The facility is the country's top supplier of IV fluids. The company was able to install a temporary bridge to the plant in place of one that was washed out because of the storm. Power and water have now been restored. Shipments have already resumed to hospitals and dialysis patients.
Biltmore Estate and its family owners announced a new aid in Helene relief efforts, launching the Biltmore Relief Fund for WNC on Monday. Biltmore Estate is pledging $2 million, and they say their focus for this fund is to provide critical and immediate financial relief for people in need. This includes supporting nonprofits, aiding the region, employees in crisis, and investing in the recovery of our community. Funds will be directed by Biltmore to nonprofit organizations for distribution in the Western North Carolina community.
The U.S. government's top disaster relief official is condemning false claims about the response to Hurricane Helene. Misinformation, he says, continues to impact those who are in need of FEMA relief the most. Former President Donald Trump and his allies have claimed without evidence that the government is withholding aid to people in Republican areas. The government will bulldoze people's houses and take their land, and even that Washington can control the weather and has targeted North Carolina on purpose. Deanne Criswell, the administrator for the Federal Emergency Management Agency, says the conspiracy theories hinder aid efforts.
People that have been impacted are afraid to apply for our assistance that then they can get a hotel room. They can get reimbursement for some of the costs or damages to their home. If I can't get them to apply, I can't give them the money and the resources that they're eligible for.
Now, Criswell says the misinformation is also hurting morale among relief workers. President Biden said in a statement Sunday that his administration will keep working with local and state leaders regardless of political party.
Today, you can drop off any hazardous household waste in Henderson County. This is happening between 8 and noon at the Convenience Center off Stony Mountain Road. It's a chance to bring your old chemicals, cleaners, pesticides, and fertilizers. Make sure to have them in a sealed container. It is free, but you'll need to show you live in Henderson County.
And due to the generous donation from the community beyond Blue Ridge, Humane Society will be hosting hurricane relief pop-ups for pet food giveaways. Starting today from 1 to 3 p.m. located at 802 South Grove Street, giveaways will continue until Friday, October 11th while supplies last. On Saturday, warehouse doors will open from 1 to 4 p.m. at the same location. Additional items such as cat litter, treats, and water are also available in limited supply.
Right. Starting today, the main bridge here through the town of Bat Cave will be closed. The bridge where US 64 hits 74A was severely damaged in the storm. It was only passable by pedestrians, and the DOT saying the public needs to stay off of that bridge so crews can start rebuilding it. And a look at conditions here across Western North Carolina. Let me get just a bit closer here. It looks like you can see Tunnel Road here, both east and westbound near I-40 showing up red. Also looks like that's Swannanoa River Road there in the red as well. This is the first time I'm seeing this map like this since Helene, so just trying to make some sense out of it. Looks like obviously we know the Parkway is closed as well. We don't have any reports of any accidents or significant delays here this morning. How about a live look? I-26 at Long Shoals here this morning. Traffic is light, both east and westbound. And one of the outstanding questions after Helene remains, when will our kids be able to return to school?
Yeah, big question this morning. Asheville City Schools is sharing new insight into their hopes for reopening schools. News 13's Gracie Matisse is live in Asheville with a promising option. Good morning, Gracie.
Hey, good morning, Charles and Katie. A big question, as you said, also a big priority to get kids back into the classroom after Helene. And so Asheville City Schools is working, as you said, on a few options here. They're telling parents they are not going to wait for Asheville City municipal water system to come back online. That would just take too much time, and that timeline is just too unknown for these schools. But I want to take you through one of the options that they are proposing, and that is drilling wells at all schools and then getting kids back into the classroom at select schools. Now, they're throwing out this timeline of about 2 weeks for that project. They say they should have more details in about a day or two with a concrete timeline for parents and students. Meanwhile, they're addressing meals for kids. In some cases, students get meals at school. It could be the only meal they can count on each day. So because of that, daily food distribution will start at schools beginning tomorrow. So we're going to take you through the details of that as well. Food distribution will go from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. each day at the William Randolph campus and Hall Fletcher Elementary. In addition to meals, they'll also be handing out a to-go lunch and breakfast for the next day as well. So we're here at Hall Fletcher Elementary. This is in the West Asheville area. And I want to show you kind of what they have set up here before they have those specific food distributions. It looks like this is just a community collection of some things that families and kids may need. A small selection here set out on the table, but obviously the community coming together in this tough time as kids are without that classroom. So we're going to be following those updates from Asheville City Schools, and we'll bring you the latest. For now, live in West Asheville, Gracie Matisse, News 13.
Now, McDowell County schools plan on reopening tomorrow.
However, Old Fort Elementary was severely damaged, and if your child goes to that school, the district will have 2 community meetings starting this evening. The first is at 4, the second is at 6. Both are at Greenlee Baptist Church on US 70. School officials will talk about the plan for students to continue learning together while they repair the campus there. The hope is for them to get them learning in a new location by next Monday. That's the 14th.
Now, some other notes for this week. Schools in McDowell will start 2 hours late with limited bus routes. There will also be community bus stops for each school in case the bus can't make it to the original stop. And here's a look at when other schools plan to reopen. Rutherford County schools also reopen tomorrow. In Henderson County, the goal is to reopen the week of the 14th. Haywood County schools remain closed this week. Free meals will continue to be served daily at Jonathan Valley Elementary and Bethel Elementary. Buncombe and Asheville remain closed because of the water situation here. Now, we've also got an update on Blue Ridge Community College and their reopening.
The college plans to reopen all campuses next Monday on October 14th. Students are being asked to monitor emails for more instructions from their professors. Employees should have an email with instructions already. Students and families are also being asked to complete a student status and support survey to confirm safety and needs.
At least 7 people are now dead from storm-related injuries in Henderson County, and its Emergency Operations Center got more than 1,000 911 calls in just an hour at the height of the storm.
That's according to a Henderson County Commissioner's briefing held late Monday afternoon.
Here's what's forgotten, is that these people were suffering the same damages to their homes. They were worried about their families.
But Henderson County Sheriff Lowell Griffin says that didn't stop first responders and volunteers during Hurricane Helene.
They didn't know what was going on. But you know what? They held their assignments. They worked their assignments. They worked through their problems. And that's one reason, 12 days into this, we're as advanced in this as we are.
Just 12 days after the storm, county government taking a moment to pause.
Can we have a moment of silence for those in our county who have gone through this terrible process? Let's all stand, please.
County officials calling Helene the biggest natural disaster in the county's history. They say at the height of the storm, roughly 1,000 911 calls were made in just an hour. In the immediate aftermath, they had more than 30 aircraft in the skies at once. The latest count, 230 structures suffered damage, 70 of those considered a total loss. The county now seeing 200 National Guard members to help on the ground. The latest number for those still without power, the county says less than 20,000. In the meeting, Henderson officials announced that the Forest Service is focused on building footbridges while the DOT continues rebuilding roads. More FEMA crews expected in Henderson over the next few days. The sheriff also making time to thank first responders, describing how a sheriff from out of state came across a deputy who had lost everything in the storm.
He found a deputy that had lost everything and handed him a wad of cash out of his pocket so that that deputy could go buy him and his family clothes. That's pretty special.
In Henderson County, Mark Liverman, News 13.